the sports world is being dominated by young players under the age of 21. And this has been a topic that we have been dying to get to, and it's finally the perfect time to get to. Finally, the perfect time to get to it. Who are your top three players under the age of 21? There are so many to choose from. It's so hard to take it down to just three. But who are your top three, Will?
Before I go into my top three, I want to give some honorable mentions to some players I was really debating putting in. Justin Clive, I was going to put him in here, but he doesn't have enough experience in a top 5 league for me to put him in there. Ozzy Albies I was going to put in there, but I can't see him displacing anyone on this list. And especially a big shout to Jason Tatum. I thought he was a great option for this list. He balled out in his first season. He was great as a third option in that Celtics team, but I don't think he can really displace anyone on this list. So first up, I'm going to go with rookie free safety Marcus Williams for the Saints. One of the only 21-year-old rookies in the league right now.
Yeah.
All the other rookies are 22 or 23. He came young out of college. I think the only other player was Joe Mixon. Last season, he looked incredible. 15 games, 4 picks. He had 7 passes deflected, 57 tackles, and 4 assists. And he's looked amazing in training camp so far this season. He's picked off Brees 3 days in a row. Brees has called him a little bit of Ed Reed. You don't know where he's going to be, but he's always there. He somehow makes a play on everything. And if you look at Ed Reed's rookie season, it looks pretty similar. 5 picks, 12 passes deflected, 71 tackles, and 14 assists. That's pretty similar stats. Obviously, he's not going to get the level of Ed Reed, but if he can get half of that, he's going to be an elite player for years to come. And if you look at someone that's like an elite safety already, Harrison Smith, he had 1 less pick. He had 4 less passes deflected. He had only 5 less tackles.
Wow.
And 5 less assists. This guy is already on that elite level. And he had a pick in the playoffs against the Vikings, which would take his tally to 5, evening the playing field with him in those competition.
Great comparison.
Second player, I have to go with the Edmonton Oilers star centerman, Connor McDavid. He's played a couple seasons in the NHL. NHL obviously have a younger age that you can go into the league with. He has been phenomenal in his 3 years for the Oilers. He played a total of 82 games last season, scoring 41 goals and getting 67 assists. He was sharp. And if you can compare those stats to the best centerman in the league, Sidney Crosby, it's quite frankly, it's better. He scored more goals. He had more assists. Crosby only had 29 goals and 60 assists, which is a total of 89 points, versus Connor McDavid's incredible 108. He had 100 points last season. This kid will be the next world beater in hockey. I wouldn't be surprised if he could take over the reins for Sidney Crosby or be the next Alexander Ovechkin. He's just being wasted on the team he's on, and he's one of the greatest young prospects out there. My number 1 on my list was going to be Kylian Mbappe, but I know you're going to talk about him a little bit later, so I'm going to go with another French World Cup winner in Ousmane Dembele, over $100 million transfer to Barcelona to be Neymar's replacement. And there's good reason why he cost over $100 million over a year ago. Ousmane Dembele was phenomenal for Borussia Dortmund 2 years ago. He doesn't know what his weak foot is. A reporter asked him, what do you shoot with? My left. What do you take penalties with? My right. What do you pass with? My left. What's your strong foot? I don't know. He is incredible as a player. Last season, he only had 3 goals, but had that terrible injury. He is one of the greatest talents out there, and I wouldn't be surprised if he could take the reins for Lionel Messi or even start this season. But the addition of Malcolm could hurt him a little bit. And he had over 10 plus goals and assists in that year with Borussia Dortmund. He's proven himself in Ligue 1. He's proven himself in the Bundesliga, and he started to prove himself in the La Liga with Barcelona. He obviously scored that worldie of a goal yesterday for Barcelona in the Super Cup, the Spanish Super Cup. He got credited for one of the goals, but arguably should have taken both of them. He was phenomenal in that game, and this kid will easily be a superstar and can potentially challenge for the Ballon d'Or in the next couple of years.
You're completely right about Ousmane Dembele, but you are also right how I love Kylian Mbappe. At age 19, he's doing things we've never seen before. He was obviously a huge part to France's World Cup victory, scoring 4 goals for them. And he's a talent. He's fast. He is aggressive. He'll do whatever he wants, whatever it takes to win on the field. He led AS Monaco to the semis, 6 goals in 9 matches. Obviously led France to that huge World Cup victory, 4 goals, as I said. And he's only going to get better in his career, especially at the age of 19. He's also being scouted by bigger clubs like Real Madrid and Barcelona. So Kylian Mbappe is only going to work his way up, and I think he'll become one of the better soccer players, one of the greatest soccer players this game has seen.
And some stats about Mbappe. He scored 62 goals at the age of 19. That's more than Messi and Ronaldo have scored, double that. And by the time they turned 19. Sure, they started earlier, but Messi started super young at Barcelona. He broke into that first team at an extremely young age, scoring having a hat trick of Ballon d'Ors by the time he was 23. But Mbappe could take the reins as the greatest player. I don't see him taking over the likes of Messi, but you bring up a good point, and he's going to be a world beater.
Definitely. He's going to be one of the best this game has ever seen. Moving on, secondly, I have Katie Ledecky, American swimmer. And a lot of people, when they think of athletes under 21, they don't think swimming. But when you look at her, she lost her first major race in 2017. She lost the gold, got the silver, but won the rest of the matches in that competition, winning 5 gold medals. So in the past year, she has won 9 gold medals and 2 silver medals, and she is 21 years old. A tremendous talent and a new face for Team USA in the swimming industry. She's already broken NCAA records when she was in college. She's already broken her own records in swimming. She'll continue to break world records as she goes on in her Olympic career. So a tremendous talent in Katie Ledecky, who will take over the women's swimming industry, in my opinion. And lastly, my third guy is Vladimir Guerrero Jr. At the age of 19, he's working to get up to the Toronto Blue Jays. But his father, obviously, Hall of Famer, 9-time All-Star, 2004 American League MVP in Vladimir Guerrero. Guerrero Jr. is in the minor leagues averaging 400 in 2018, 114 hits. 18 of those hits are home runs and 69 RBIs. Guerrero Jr. is one of the talents that this game was so surprised about when they see. They'll never see anything like him when he comes up to the major leagues. And he's such a big part. He'll be such a big part to the Toronto Blue Jays franchise. Obviously, they lost a guy like Josh Donaldson. They lost a guy like Jose Bautista, who were great for their franchise. And not to mention Edwin Encarnacion, who were huge players for the Toronto Blue Jays. So now with Vladimir Guerrero Jr., they have someone to look forward to. So I think he's a tremendous player and completely underrated at the age of 19, who will then be someone who everyone knows.
But can you really put the best player into the category of players that have already proven it, like Acuna and Ozzy Albies? I really don't see that, because I could have put in players like Kluivert, who I think will be one of the best players following in his dad's footsteps, and Patrick Kluivert. But Justin Kluivert looks just as good. Like, it's not potential, it's how good they are now. That's why I couldn't include him in my list.
That's fair. But I'm saying that even though we haven't seen him play in the major leagues, we're seeing him putting up these big numbers in the minor leagues, which are promising for major league stats. And we've seen him hit these 400-foot home runs, which are great, and they'll compromise too MLB play. But when you talk about a guy like Ronald Acuna, he can't stay healthy. He needs to show me he's consistent. Ozzy Albies was also a guy who I thought about. He was your honorable mention. But Vladimir Guerrero, when he gets up there, he's going to be better than Ozzy Albies. That's why I put him at the number 3 spot.
A next Aaron Judge. He played in the minor leagues. Until the Yankees took a punt on him. I just don't get why the Blue Jays wouldn't call him up by now, because they really need some help anywhere they can get it.
I mean, you're right. They totally do need some help right now. But right now, they know they're not playoff contenders. Obviously, getting rid of their star pitchers and Marcus Stroman, Roberto Ozuna, who else? J.A. Happ to the Yankees. So they know that they're in rebuild mode. So I wouldn't be surprised to see him come up next season, because now you want to develop him in the minor leagues. So that way he'll become the best player he can be. That way he's not rushed in the MLB and he's not behind.
Make sure to watch the whole episode 4 of the Triple Threat podcast on your screen right now. Make sure to subscribe and let me know your questions in the comments below. Signing off from Atlanta, Georgia, William Ezell.